Ever feel like you're talking to this super smart AI, but the answers you get back are, well, not so smart? We're going to fix that today. We're going way beyond just asking basic questions. We're going to unlock the real power, the accuracy, the insight that's just sitting there waiting for us inside these models. All right, let's dive right in. I mean, you've been there, right? You ask this really deep, complex question, you're expecting this brilliant, mind-blowing answer, and what comes back is just flat. You know? It's generic, or it's a little bit off, or sometimes it's just plain wrong. And it's so frustrating. But here's the good news. It's probably not the AI's fault. And even better, it's something we can totally fix. And this is the secret that most people just completely miss. The solution? It's right in your hands. Seriously. You don't need to sit around waiting for some smarter, next-gen AI to be released. You just need to learn how to ask smarter questions. The real power to get those exceptional answers? It all comes down to mastering the prompt. So today, we're going to add 3, let's call them pro-level techniques to your personal toolkit. And I want you to think of these like power tools. They're going to fundamentally upgrade the quality of every single answer you get from whatever AI you're using. Okay, first up, we've got a technique that I personally find fascinating. It's called chain of thought, and it's all about one simple idea: making the AI slow down and think logically, step by step, instead of just jumping to a conclusion. It's literally like telling a student, hey, don't just give me the final answer, you gotta show me your work. So what this means is, instead of just asking for the final answer, you tell the AI to lay out its reasoning process first. And here's why this is so cool and why it actually works. AIs, a lot like us, they make dumb mistakes when they rush. So by forcing this step-by-step process, you're stopping it from taking those lazy mental shortcuts, and that just dramatically improves its ability to handle any kind of problem that needs logic. So how do you actually turn this on? It's almost ridiculously simple. You just tack on a little phrase to your prompt. Something like, let's think step by step, or first, work out your reasoning. That's it. That little phrase acts like a trigger, and it just switches the AI into this more thoughtful, analytical mode. All right, let's look at a classic example, this age riddle. Now, if you just ask an AI this straight up, it often gets it wrong. It latches onto that half my age part and spits out 20. But when you force it to show its work, like we see here, it's got no choice but to get it right. Look at step 1. It nails down the most important fact, the 3-year age gap. Then, step 2, it confirms, hey, this gap doesn't change. And only then, in step 3, does it apply that logic to the new age. And boom, it gets the correct answer, 37. So, when do you want to pull this tool out of your toolkit? Well, it's perfect for math problems, any kind of puzzle, logical reasoning, basically anytime you need the AI to analyze something complex that has a bunch of different stages. It just guarantees you get a much stronger and, this is the important part, a much more transparent thought process. Okay, let's move on to tool number 2, which kind of builds on that last one. It's called self-consistency, and oh man, this is where things get really clever. See, if chain of thought is all about finding one clear path to an answer, self-consistency is about asking the AI to find a bunch of different paths to the exact same destination, just to double-check that it's the right one. The big idea here is to stop treating the AI like a single calculator and start treating it like a small committee of experts. You ask it the same question a few times, maybe you crank up the creativity setting a bit, to get it to think in different ways. And then you just look at all the answers and pick the one that shows up the most. It's like building a system of checks and balances for the AI's own brain. Let's look at a super simple discount problem. So in the first attempt, the AI does it the straightforward way. It calculates the discount first, right? 20% of $50 is $10. Then it just subtracts that from the original price. 50 minus 10 is 40. Easy enough. But for the second try, it comes at it from a totally different angle. This time it figures out the percentage you actually have to pay. So, 80%. And then it calculates that directly. 80% of $50 is, you guessed it, $40 again. Same answer, totally different road to get there. And then, just to be sure, on a third try, it might go back to a method kind of like the first one. Once again, it finds that $10 discount, subtracts it, and the answer is still 40. The result is solid across all 3 attempts. And this is a perfect illustration of why this is so powerful. Because all 3 of those different logical paths all ended up at the exact same answer, $40. Our confidence in that result just skyrockets. This method is absolutely fantastic for boosting factual accuracy and making sure you don't get tripped up by a single bad calculation.
All right, our third and final tool is called step-back prompting. And this one is a game changer for those really big, broad, or abstract questions where, context is everything. The entire idea is to make the AI build a foundation of general principles first before it even touches your specific problem.
So what you're doing is you're breaking your question down into two parts. First, you literally step back. You ask a big picture, high-level question to get the AI warmed up and thinking about the core concepts. Then, in your second prompt, you say, okay, now take all that and apply it to my specific problem.
Here's how that looks in practice. Instead of just jumping in and asking, how do I make my website faster? You first step back. You ask something much broader, like, hey, what are the key factors that affect website loading speed in general? The AI will give you the building blocks, right? Things like image size, clean code, server time. Then you follow up. Awesome. Now, using those factors, give me some specific recommendations for my e-commerce site. And this approach is so powerful because it's exactly how a human expert thinks, right? A real pro doesn't just jump to a solution. They first remember the fundamental rules of their field. And by making the AI do the same thing, you're grounding its specific advice in solid general knowledge. What you get are answers that are way more structured, way more complete, and a whole lot less likely to miss something important.
So there you have it. Those are our 3 advanced techniques. Now, each one is super powerful on its own, but the real secret sauce is knowing exactly when to use each one. So let's wrap this up with a quick reference guide so you can see it all in one place. Just remember this little cheat sheet. Pull out chain of thought when you need the AI to show its work, especially for logic or math problems. Go with self-consistency when accuracy is everything and you absolutely have to double-check the answer. And use step-back prompting when you're dealing with those big, complex ideas and you need a really solid, comprehensive response. So the next time you get a kind of meh answer from an AI, don't just blame the model. Take a second, think about your prompt, and ask yourself, which of these tools could I use to reframe this question and guide the AI to a way better answer? Because from now on, the power to get brilliant answers, it's officially in your hands.